You were on
All
your
right,
page.
everybody. This is Omar Loud. You can see me? All right, everybody. This is Omar Lyles, the mental health coach. Welcome. It's been a long time since I have actually been up here to actually doing this. So I just want to like greet everybody, for the new year, for the 2025 new year. I haven't actually been doing this podcast thing since actually the early part of 2024. So now I'm coming back into full swing doing it for this year. And this year, I'm going to start off with my first guest here for 2025. And I'm going to have her introduce herself. Her name is, you can introduce yourself.
Well, great evening, everybody. Happy Thursday. First of all, we are almost through this week, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited. Okay. Are you excited about this weekend? If y'all excited about this weekend and y'all are here watching us live tonight, drop it in the chat that you are excited that today is Thursday and tomorrow is Friday. Okay. My name is Keisha Natalie Cole. I am an associate minister. I'm a proud mom. Um, I'm an author, I'm a financial coach, I'm a public speaker, I'm a everything kind of person. Um, and I'm just really excited to be able to share my experiences with you all here tonight and to, talk about this book.
Okay, all right. I'm just actually glad to actually have this interview with you because you have this brand new book that's out. So it is based on you being an author, and I believe this is like your first book, right?
This is my first solo book. Yes, I have another book that I've published with co authors. This is my first solo book.
Okay, all right. So before I actually begin the actual questions, and I would like to let everybody know in the audience, this particular platform is based on mental health and all sorts of issues that raises awareness as far as a person's spirit, their mind, their body, and their mental capabilities, and their personhood. And so we try to uplift people. And so this particular book right here will be discussed with Keisha Natalie Cole. And I'm just happy actually to run this over with you. It's called From Ruins to Restoration, Reclaiming What Was Lost. You can explain the rest of the details of the book. And so the first question that I actually want to actually ask you is what inspired you to actually write this book and what gave you the motivation and drive?
That's such a great question. There's this saying that everybody has saying, life is lifing, right? And we know life is going to continue to life as long as we live. Amen. It's good that life lives because then that means we're not dead. But the inspiration came really from my own journey, right, of healing and restoration. I've faced many challenges from childhood into adulthood that really made me feel like my life was in ruins, like rock bottom type of feelings, right? Like everything has just crashed and burned. And, but through faith and through intentional rebuilding, I experienced restoration. And I wanted to share this message not only to inspire others who may feel like their broken situation will never heal or they'll never be able to rebuild, but God inspired me to write this book to encourage people, to let them know that there is hope, right? That there is a way forward. And so that's how From Ruins to Restoration came to be.
Okay. And what ways are you helping people to move forward?
So with the book, in the book, it kind of gives practical examples. It gives resources in terms of some of the things that we need to be thinking about when we are rebuilding. It, I do have a workbook that goes along with it that really helps you answer those hard questions that sometimes we don't want to answer, right? Sometimes we just don't want to face the things that we've been through. And so, so the book kind of takes you on your own healing journey and helps you to restore what you lost.
Okay, cool, cool. Can you share any pivotal moments from the book that illustrates your journey from moving from ruins to restoration?
So, one pivotal moment in the book is when I discuss the importance of starting small, because we can be very overwhelmed with everything, right? It just looks so big. Like this mountain looks like it's not going to move, right? We're not going to ever be able to get over it. We can't get around it. Can't go under it. It's just here. And so I discussed the importance of starting small, because restoration doesn't always have to come in grand gestures, right? It's in the small, consistent steps that we take daily to rebuild our lives. And it mirrors Nehemiah's approach of tackling one part of the wall at a time.
Okay, all right. Uh, a few more questions that I want to ask you. Actually, not a few. I have a ton of questions to actually ask you, and I can't wait to receive the book myself. All right. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Can you share any specific strategies that from the book that is particularly effective for any readers facing any challenges?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite chapters is called Building with Closed Ears, right? And what that means is it means staying focused on your purpose and ignoring the naysayers, the people that are in your ear, people that don't really care about you. Just like Nehemiah refused to let his enemies distract him, we've got to learn to block out that negativity, and we've got to learn to keep working toward our goal. We kind of have to develop this tunnel vision, right? When you think about scripture, right? Let's bring Jesus here. Come on, Jesus, right? Remember when the disciples were on the boat heading back from after Jesus had just fed the 5,000 plus and did all of these miracles, and he sent them to go on back, right? And in on their way back over, they encountered a storm. The waters were rocky and things were kind of crazy. And so it took them a little longer to get to where they needed to go. And so by the time it was time for Jesus to meet them over there, he took the shortcut. Jesus said, you know what, I'm gonna just go on and walk on this water, head on back over, right? And the disciples saw him walking through the water and they kind of got scared. They're like, who the heck is that? What is this? What's happening, right? And of course, Jesus had to let them know, calm down, relax, it's just me. But he invited him to come out onto the water with him, right? And in that moment, as long as Peter was looking at Jesus, he was walking on that
Mhm.
water. He was focused, right? The minute he took his eyes off of him, what happened? He started to sink. And so that's what we have to do. We have to learn to build with closed ears. We've got to stay focused on our purpose with God in front of us, right? Ignore all of the naysayers. Ignore the naysayer within yourself, so that you can continue to heal and continue to rebuild your life.
Hmm. Okay, good, good. How do you think those who are millennials and like you got the generation X's, right? Readers actually in particular will resonate with the themes of your book.
That's a great question. You know, these generations, they're often navigating a lot of pressure, right? You've got career pressures, family dynamics, personal struggles. Um, you've got life experiences, and my book kind of speaks to their desire for authenticity and actionable solutions, because I address real life challenges in this book and I offer practical steps for healing and for growth, which I think deeply resonate with a lot of people, whether you're a millennial, whether you're a Gen Xer, whether you're a boomer, right? Because there are a lot of boomers who still need to heal, right? From some of their past
Mhm.
hurts. Even
Mhm.
Gen Xers can definitely relate to this book, and Gen Z's. It's literally a book for all ages.
Mhm. Mhm. How long did it actually take you to actually write this?
Oof.
And when did you start?
So, so Omar, are we? Why are you trying to get on my street now? Get out of here. Um, I started writing this book 6 years ago. Okay,
Mhm.
6 years ago, I got the vision to write the book, and I started. Um, when I finally sat down to write it, like I literally said, you know what? You got to stop procrastinating. When I put pen to paper, it took me about a month. Took me about a month.
Okay, all right. Because writing books sometimes some were a little bit more quicker than the others, pretty much that I have written, but other ones I took a little bit more time because sometimes there are people who have writer's block, and I like my last book that I pretty much had written. I started having writer's block, and I stayed away from it for a long while, and for me to get back into it. So yeah, I'm always inspired when I see other people who are writers and just as talented and skilled, and to just come up with their stories, to talk about their journeys and things of that particular nature. And so I want to ask you this: what advice would you give someone who is just actually starting their journey of emotional healing and restoration?
Um, the first thing I would say is start by giving yourself grace. Right? We got to give ourselves grace. We cannot compare ourselves to other people, even if they've been in a situation similar to yours. You cannot compare yourself because healing is different for everybody. Healing looks different for everybody. The journey is different for everybody. It takes time. It's not linear, right? And then surround yourself with a supportive community and stay grounded in faith. Faith is so important because that hope is really what drives change, right? I'm reading this book right now called Be Your Future Self Now. And
Mm,
the book is such a great read because what it tells you is to make decisions based on your future self, where it is that you see yourself in the future. So, for example, I'm doing this 75 hard challenge. Omar, I don't know who told me to do this in the wintertime.
mm,
Okay. Every day it's colder, it gets harder to do. But there's five
mm,
things that you have to do every day. And one of those things is walking or doing some kind of exercise outdoors for 45
mm,
minutes. Now, those of you who know me know I am allergic to exercise. Okay. And for those of you that don't know, I'm allergic to exercise. But the reality of it is, Omar, because of what I've experienced, right, with my car accident and breaking my neck and all of that, I still have a lot of weakness that I'm dealing with from 26 years ago. And
mm,
so my future self is going to be an old woman, either in a wheelchair, on a, what is that, the walker, with a walker or a cane. All right, I'm going to need some assistance walking if I don't do something today to
mm,
change that narrative. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do this 75 hard challenge for my future self. So that decision was based on who I'm going to be in the future. So we got to stay grounded in faith. We got to keep God first. But then, most importantly, we got to take it one step at a time. Don't let the big picture overwhelm you. You know, my
mm.
favorite question that people ask, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Ain't nobody trying to eat no elephant. So, I mean,
Okay.
you can't put the whole elephant in your mouth. So you have to eat it one bite at a time. And so that's what I would that's what I would give. And that's the advice I would give to folks who are starting their journey.
Mhm. Okay. What were some of the feedback that you were getting from people?
Well, the book just came out.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so the only feedback I have is from my publisher. Okay.
Okay. All right.
um, but she has said that, even through editing the book and reading through the book, that it was a great read. It's given her hope, and practical tools for her personal journey.
Mhm,
And so I'm really looking forward to hearing from more people who
mhm.
have
Okay.
recently purchased the book, and how it's working and benefiting them.
Mhm. Yeah. So, well, what kind of things that you were doing to actually prepare you to actually write this?
Okay, well, first of all, studying the word, right? I
Yeah.
had to do a
Okay.
lot of research um, on the book of Nehemiah, but then also the additional books that support the book of Nehemiah, right? I had to do a lot of research. And then I also had to really do some soul searching myself. Last year I had a wonderful counselor who I was doing therapy with, who helped me to see a lot of the things in my life that I didn't even realize had an effect on me. And
Mm,
so that helped me prepare as well. And just, being a part of other people's stories, right? Being able to help them through their healing journey. All of those things prepared me um, to write this book.
And why did you actually choose the book of Nehemiah as part of writing this book?
Ooh, because it's such a good book. um, Nehemiah's story is one of building and rebuilding and restoration. And for me, every time I read the book of Nehemiah, it just speaks not only leadership, but it speaks vision, it speaks hope, it speaks trust in God. Like he really had to trust God that he was going to do what he said he was going to do, right? Because look at all the things that he had to deal with. He was a cupbearer in the king's court, right? So he really didn't have any power. And here he is working, having to go to the king and saying, "Hey, I need paid leave." But
Mm,
not just paid leave for like 2 weeks. It was like a long time, right? And so he had to have the faith that what he was going to do was going to work. Um, and so, that story was such a great example of rebuilding, of restoration. It gave you examples of what to do. He didn't just repair the walls of Jerusalem, he
mm,
restored hope and he restored the faith among the people. And it's just a powerful parallel to our lives today, right? Themes of determination, strategy, and faith kind of really deeply resonated with me, and they can guide anybody that's seeking to rebuild their life.
mm. Yeah. So by you doing a lot of ministry, do you think that this will be an effective tool to actually witness to other people who actually read your book as well?
Oh, absolutely. I actually plan on starting a Bible study session, if you will, using my book to help people experience their own rebuilding, right? To help
Mm,
people have their own journeys,
mm,
because it definitely, like I said, within the book has a lot of practical tips and tools that can be used to help you grow and to help you heal, um,
mm,
and to help you, restore those broken pieces so that you can live the life that you're destined to live.
mm. It sounds like a good book that could actually be used for a course as well.
You know
Because you
what?
got to work, and you got the book. You know, you gotta have a you have a syllabus and all that stuff. You
I'm
know,
trying to tell you, it's so true. It's so true that
you
definitely,
can have some workshops, some seminars. You know, we gonna make that happen. We're gonna
yeah.
make that happen soon. All right. I have a few more questions, and then we know we're gonna close it out. So, if you could summarize your book in one sentence to inspire someone, what would you say to them?
Ooh, one sentence. I would let them know that, from ruins to restoration is a guide to rebuilding your life with faith, purpose, and perseverance, no matter how broken it feels.
Hmm. Okay, that's a good summary. All right. So, and before we actually go, I just want you to just let everybody know where they can actually find you, how they can connect with you, where they can get your book, all those kind of things.
Sure. So I'm everywhere. I'm on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Um, what's that new one that Instagram put out? That one. I can't remember the name of it. Um, I'm
Mhm.
also on YouTube. I'm on TikTok. Keisha Natalie Cole. You can find me everywhere. If you Google Keisha Natalie Cole, you'll see all of my socials. The book is on Amazon, so you can get it from Amazon. It's paperback, or you can get, if you want to do like a Kindle, it's available as an ebook as well. And like I mentioned, the book does come with the workbook. And
Okay.
so I want to do a special thing for folks tonight. Whoever chimes in tonight and drops it in the chat that they purchased the book, I will give you a free version of the workbook. Okay. So that you'll
Cool.
have that with you as you read through the book.
hmm Oh, cool, cool, cool. All right. Any last words that you would like to tell anybody before we actually leave? Anything? Any last words?
Last words. Any words for the end of this? Okay, because last words make me feel like I'm about to leave this earth and be with Jesus. We're not doing
Um,
that tonight.
not that last word.
Listen, here's what I'll say to everybody. Restoration is possible for everybody. I see a lot of folks who have lost hope, who feel like this could never happen for me. It's just too hard. And my book is here to guide you through it, right? You can, like I mentioned, connect with me on social media, DM me, if you have questions or if you just want to talk about it. Make sure you pay attention. To my feed, because I'm going to be hosting different webinar sessions. If you want to drop your email in the chat to be a part of my emailing list, please do so. But just understand that it is possible for everybody, and you can do it. Whether it doesn't matter what you've been through, because at the end of the day, God does not want you to be broken. He wants you to be whole. And so just know that you're going to need to be vulnerable, right? You're going to have to expose those personal struggles, but it's so rewarding once you get through the other side.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for actually being on here tonight. Is always an honor, for you to grace the presence here on Omar Lyle's Talk podcast. And I would like to let y'all know that, you know, uh, actually just getting back into the swing of this is actually a blessing, actually for me as well. So you're gonna see a lot more from me. And so the channel is Omar Lyle's Talks Mental Health. So that's the actually new channel. And I'm going to be talking about Alzheimer's, and we're going to have a lot of great guests for this year. Lots of lineup. And on February 4th, we're going to have Dr. Francine Hernandez. She actually one of the past presidents of the College of Pastoral Supervision and Psychotherapy. She's also going to be doing a lot of stuff with our school as well, helping with those who want to actually become board certified chaplains. So tune into her on February 4th, and then we're going to take it from there, okay? So you can just go over to my YouTube channel, Omar Lyles Talks of Mental Health, and you can, follow me on there as well. Also, you can follow us on our Facebook page, okay? Omar Lyles, the mental health coach, or you can follow me on my personal profile, Omar Lyles, okay? Thank you for for just watching us, and thank you again, Keisha, Minister Keisha, for coming here and just telling us a little bit about your book, From Ruins to Restoration, Reclaiming What Was Lost. What was the rest of it?
From ruins to restoration, reclaiming your life. It's your guide,
I don't know why I said reclaiming what was lost. My goodness.
because it's your life to
I need
rebuild
to
what
change
was
that.
lost.
You ain't correct me.
All right.
All this time I got reclaiming what was lost, like it was never found. That everybody, shame on me. Reclaiming your life. That's the actual title of her book.
Yeah. Reclaiming
Well,
that. Get it back. It's
I
yours.
know, right? All right. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much
much
for
for
asking.
having me, Omar. I really appreciate you.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Always appreciate you as well. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for having us here.
Have a great night, everyone.